नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। A very good morning to you all. Myself, JVN Dr. Ravi Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Practice of Medicine, in Faculty of Homeopathic Science at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are going to start with psoriasis. This is the series of dermatological diseases, various diseases of the skin. We have already discussed about the introductory lectures. We have discussed about dermatitis. In today's lecture, we are going to start with psoriasis. What are the different causes of psoriasis? What are the clinical features, investigation, management? All these will be discussed in this series. Psoriasis will be completed in 2 lectures. So this is the first lecture of the series. What is psoriasis? Psoriasis is basically a non-infectious chronic inflammatory disease of the skin. It is characterized by well-defined erythematous plaques with silvery scales. There is predilection for the extensor surface and scalp. It has chronic fluctuating course. The epidemiological pattern consists of 2 types. Type 1, that is early onset HLA-CW6 gene, and type 2 occurs in the late 50s or 60s. So, psoriasis is a non-infectious chronic inflammatory disease of the skin with well-defined erythematous plaques and silvery scales. Etiology. The etiology is complex and large number of genes are involved. The 2 key pathophysiological features includes number 1, hyperproliferation of the keratinocytes, the retention of the nuclei in the stratum corneum, and the inflammatory cell infiltration. So we have 2 physiological features, that is hyperproliferation of the keratinocytes, the retention of the nuclei in the stratum corneum, and inflammatory cell infiltration. The precipitating factors for psoriasis. There are various factors which can lead to the development of psoriasis. The precipitating factors include trauma, infection, that is beta hemolytic streptococcal throat infections. We have sunlight, drugs, emotions. Again, some precipitating factors: trauma, that is caused by the Koebner phenomenon. Skin is damaged by scratches or surgical wounds. There is infection that is caused by tonsillitis, that is caused by beta hemolytic streptococci, guttate psoriasis, Staphylococcus aureus, HIV infection. There are various hormonal causes, precipitating factors, which include psoriasis, that is frequently improves with pregnancy, only to relapse postpartum. Sunlight, it improves most of the psoriatics, but 10% becomes worse. Drugs. Various drugs like antimalarials, beta blockers, IFN alpha, and lithium may worsen the psoriasis. Cigarette smoking and alcohol, and the next one is the emotions. Now we come to the different types of psoriasis. There are different types of psoriasis depending upon the appearance. We have stable plaque psoriasis, guttate psoriasis, erythrodermic psoriasis, pustular psoriasis, and there is also a complication, that is arthropathy. So we have stable plaque psoriasis, guttate psoriasis, we have erythrodermic psoriasis, we have pustular psoriasis, and complications consist of various kinds of arthropathy. Let's discuss them one by one. This is the types. Plaque psoriasis, this is the most common type. We have guttate psoriasis, pustular psoriasis, we have inverse psoriasis, because most of the psoriasis occurs on the extensor surface. Inverse psoriasis is occurring on the flexural surfaces. We also have nail psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis. Now we come to the stable plaque. The first one is the stable plaque psoriasis. It is the most common type of psoriasis. It has well demarcated lesions that are ranging from few millimeters to several centimeters in diameter. The lesions are red with a dry silvery white scale and obvious after the scraping of the surface. The elbows, knees, and lower back are commonly involved. Elbow, knees, and lower back are commonly involved. Now the other sites includes the scalp that is involved in 60% of the cases, the nails that have a thimble pitting or onycholysis. It can occur in the flexures like the submammary and axillary folds. It is not scaly but red, shiny and symmetrical. It can occur in the palms. These are poorly demarcated and barely erythematous. Next, we come to the guttate psoriasis. It is the most common psoriasis in children and adolescents. It is caused due to the beta hemolytic streptococcal throat infection that precedes the guttate psoriasis. Guttate psoriasis is seen particularly on the trunk and proximal part of the limbs. The rashes often appears rapidly and the individual's lesions are droplet shaped and seldom over 1 centimeter in diameter, and these are scaly. The bouts of guttate psoriasis may clear within a few months. The guttate psoriasis respond well to early treatment with phototherapy, and majority of the patient develop plaque psoriasis later in their life. So as the guttate psoriasis is more common in children, so in the later as they grow older, it can become plaque psoriasis. Next, we come to the erythrodermic psoriasis. Erythrodermic psoriasis can occur in two forms. Number one, the skin becomes universally red or scaly, or more rarely just red with a very little scale. So we have the skin which becomes universally red or scaly, or the most rarely just red with a very little scaling. The temperature regulation becomes compromised with danger on either hypothermia or hypothermia. So temperature regulation is disturbed in this case of erythrodermic psoriasis. We have the skin becomes universally red or scaly and more just likely red and with a little scale. The temperature regulation becomes compromised and danger for hypothermia and hyperthermia. The next one is the chronic lesions which evolve gradually into exfoliative phase. Extensive plaque psoriasis involving all the cutaneous surfaces. The psoriatic characteristics retained and mild treatment is well tolerated. The prognosis is good in this case of psoriasis. So this was all for today. The rest of the psoriasis part we will be discussing in the next lecture tomorrow. This session was powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box and I'll try to resolve. So this was all for today. Thank you very much. We will be meeting in the next lecture tomorrow.